is definitely not camera shy, and that's what today's video is about. I want to talk a little bit about building confidence on camera and being able to film yourself, whether it's for YouTube, on Reels on Instagram, doing Instagram lives, etc. I want to talk about finding your voice on camera and in front of an audience, because the reality is, if you're feeling nervous on a day-to-day basis and you're not super confident just in general, then you're gonna have trouble talking on camera, which can be a bit discouraging. If you feel like you're doing bad on camera, it's not necessarily because you're bad on camera. It could just be because it's a confidence issue, which is what I want to address in today's video, because it is something I used to struggle with. Now, I didn't necessarily follow a set of steps to become more confident on camera. It really came down to practice. So take this as encouragement. It is not this really hard, rigorous step-by-step process to become good on camera. It really just comes down to practice. And it's also a confidence thing. As you become more confident, you're going to feel more natural in front of a camera and in front of an audience. For me, this started by making reels. I started to make a couple reels here and there on Instagram, and I started building my way up, and I got more and more comfortable, dancing, joking around, acting in front of the camera. It's something that takes time and practice, not necessarily skill. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you is to just go for it. I'm going to cover this right now. I'm going to say it straight up. Your first couple videos, first couple reels, first couple Instagram lives, there's going to be a point where you're not going to want to watch them anymore, because they're just not going to be up to par to where you are later as you build that confidence. Looking back at some of my old reels, they were very cringy. I don't really like to see them. To be honest with you, I have considered taking some of them down because they're awkward, but that was because I was learning how to be more natural on camera and be more confident. I think looking back at my newer reels, I can see that I'm more confident in it, so I don't mind it as much, even if I'm being cringy and awkward. Whereas when I look back on when I first started filming reels about 2 years ago, I'm like, that girl should not have been on camera. But you know what? That girl should have been on camera, because if I hadn't started filming reels, I never would have gotten confident enough to start an actual YouTube channel and be on camera. And it's not necessarily how good you are, it's really coming down to confidence and practice. Your first couple videos, they're gonna be rough. Pretty sure anybody you ask will say the exact same thing. They're not gonna like their first. And it's like that with a lot of different things. Your first painting ever, it's not going to be as good as your 10th, your 100th. Your first time baking cookies might not be as good as it is once you have the recipe memorized. It's something that comes down to practice. I've said before that I've built my writing up from starting with fan fiction to short stories to more of novellas to novels. That's kind of how you expand the writing process. And for filming on camera, you can build up as well. For me, again, I started with reels, and then I started experimenting with Instagram lives. And I think the helpful thing with Instagram lives is your live. You are completely, whatever you say, it's just people are watching. Whereas if you're filming a video, there's more of a perfection aspect to it. But I think if you can be comfortable being 100% real and, stuttering over yourself on a live, or, misspeaking, or maybe you trip or something like that, having that out there on a live, it helps you build confidence, because you're like, okay, I was a bit crazy and awkward on that, but people still had fun, and it gives you a chance to interact with people as well and grow and become better on the camera. You can also use these lives as a way to figure out what you need to fix on camera. I know for me, something I actually still struggle with is talking too fast. So actually, that's almost a reminder to me right now. Slow down. That's something I'm working on with camera, and it's something that, practicing beforehand on Instagram Live before you go and film a video where you're editing it together and putting it out, it can really help you improve. You don't need to be the best to film yourself, and that is something that, it's true for every case scenario, but when you're, filming videos, if you're wanting to start a YouTube channel and you're wanting to build more confidence, realize and accept that you don't need to be the best. There are so many channels out there. There are so many writing channels. There are so many, animal channels, so many, whatever it is, you can look it up on YouTube and find it. And when you have thousands, millions of videos out there, you're going to realize they're not all the best, and yours might not be the best, but that doesn't mean they're not valid, and that doesn't mean they're not helpful, and that doesn't mean they shouldn't be out there. You can take encouragement in that when you're filming on YouTube, you can film anything. You can film whatever it is you want. When you're, making a reel, when you're going on Instagram Live, you can be yourself. You don't need to be the best. You can be yourself. This is where general confidence comes in, when you realize that you don't even need to just be good or much less the best. You just need to be yourself. When you are filming yourself, you yourself as a person have something to offer. You have something to offer every day, on and off camera. And as you start to realize that and accept that, you're going to realize more so that you do have what it takes to film a video, that you do have the confidence to be on camera. It's a practice thing. You're going to feel awkward at first, but the reality is that when you stop putting on a mask of, okay, I need to go and be the best now, or I need to be good now, if you start being real, that is when you're going to get the confidence to be yourself every day, on and off camera. And that is where you're going to get the confidence to keep filming, to keep adding to your YouTube playlist, to keep putting reels on your Instagram tab, or filming. I know TikTok's a big thing too. There's other social media platforms. Putting your face out there, having the confidence to do that comes with a day-to-day confidence as well. When you are confident in who you are as a person, you're going to be confident putting that person out there on the internet. If the key to being confident on camera is being confident as a person, then how do you do that? Now, that is something that really takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. I personally believe it also takes a lot of prayer and trust in God. It takes a lot of effort. Really, that's what it comes down to. It takes time and effort, and it's something that gets better again with practice. Now, I used to be incredibly shy. I was actually so shy that when I was like, I want to say I was like 11 or 12, I once had a girl come up to me and ask if I could talk. She was just straight up, she was like, "Can you talk or are you mute?" And I remember being so confused by that comment, because you can see I can talk. I just at the time was so shy that I just didn't really like doing it in front of people I didn't know that well. And as I got a little older and I started getting a little more confident, I would have friends I would be talking to and loud with. And now I just kind of vibe. I can be a little bit loud sometimes. I can talk a little bit fast sometimes. I'm definitely the type of person who will stumble over myself and my words every once in a while. Sometimes I get quiet still around people I don't know that well, but when I'm talking to people I know, or when I'm talking in front of the camera, I feel a lot better just being myself. It's something, I'm 19 now. I was struggling with this since I was like 11 and 12. So this is something that's taken years. I would say probably took about 5 or 6 years to really get the confidence where I could, start filming myself, where I could start, doing Instagram lives and realize that, okay, actually doing Instagram lives is fun and people seem to enjoy it. It's something that I put a lot of time, work, prayer, and effort into, and it definitely paid off. So it is possible whatever stage you're at, it's a confidence thing, and it takes time, and it takes maybe forcing yourself to go and say hi to somebody you haven't talked to during class. Here I am stuttering over myself now, everybody does it. Nobody's perfect on or off screen. But maybe it takes, forcing yourself to compliment somebody's haircut. Maybe it takes, staying after class to talk to a couple friends you're not as close to and start getting closer. Maybe it's, you start reaching out over text. You start asking people if they want to hang out. You start thinking, okay, maybe I want to kind of be on camera a little more. What can I do with that? Maybe you film just a 30-second reel of yourself with a different audio and you're not talking. And then you go on to a 30-second reel with your own original audio that is you talking. Maybe you post on IGTV a little bit, because I feel like there's something less ominous about Instagram versus YouTube. I don't know what it is about it. I know I personally felt that way, where I felt that being on Instagram, it's a little more kind of casual, whereas YouTube is a little more structured. I don't know if that's just me, but I keep going back to doing reels, IGTV, or Instagram lives, because personally, that's where I found my confidence to eventually move over here onto YouTube, which I'm gonna be honest, I still sometimes get a little overwhelmed by it. I'm still trying to find really my niche in YouTube and everything like that, but it took time and practice on Instagram first, on the platform that I felt comfortable with. Some people start with YouTube first and then they move over to Instagram. Some people try TikTok first. They go on all these there's different social media platforms. So if you find what you're most comfortable with as the next step after you start talking to more people in person, what's the next step for you after that? What social media platform are you comfortable on? Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you kind of start to realize that it comes down to your confidence in general to film on camera. And honestly too, just go for it. Just give it a try, because what is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is your video kind of flops and not many people see it. That really is what the worst case scenario is. Maybe you're scared of getting hate comments. Those are a real thing too. But you know what? You can delete, you can block, you can ignore them. You don't need to read them. You can try a different course of action. Don't let other people's opinions stop you. Seriously, go with it. Give it a try and experiment. You're gonna try around. Your first videos might feel a little rough to you. You might not like them later, but they're gonna get better. And work on your confidence as a person too, because as you get more confident, you're gonna start to maybe want to film. You're gonna like being on camera. Or maybe you'll realize that, being on camera isn't your thing, but you like to be in person. You like to be confident as a person. Building your confidence to be on camera, nothing can go wrong with it, whether you last on camera long term or not, because at the end of the day, it builds confidence as a person. So definitely go for it, give it a try, and build your confidence. If you agree with what I've said with this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have anything you'd like to add, leave a comment. Have you struggled with shyness on camera? I know I personally did. It took me almost 2 years of showing my face on Instagram lives, etc., to have the confidence to transfer over to YouTube, where in my mind, YouTube videos, again, are more permanent than Instagram lives, even though Instagram lives are actual feeds of what's going on in your room. Whereas with YouTube, you can stop filming and refilm. This is like my 5th take of the outro, so, I definitely relate to that, but, we don't talk about that. To me, there's more pressure editing an actual video together. To you, maybe you're building confidence to go on Instagram Live by practicing YouTube. Whatever it is, take it small steps at a time, but sometimes you gotta take that leap. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever time it is. Have a great day.